Good afternoon, right? I will be presenting a short video of task 4. Just look at us now on how to create the e-portfolio using Google Sites. Right, so here we go. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Okay, so I am sharing my entire screen. I hope that you are seeing my screen. All right, so to create your e-portfolio, I already started, but I'm gonna go back to the beginning. So the first thing that you're gonna do, ensure that you are using the Gmail account that you want to publish your site from, your e-portfolio from. So I'm gonna be using my ministry, my MOE account. So opening a new tab, just close this one. I'm gonna open a new tab. Right, let's close this one. And right here on the top right hand corner of your screen, if you're using a laptop, or sorry, if you're using a laptop, yes, you will see these 9 little dots at the that says Google Apps at the top right hand corner of your screen. If you are using a tablet or a smartphone, it's possible that you will have to type in google.com right here, and you will have to sign in to use these Google Apps. So I'm gonna, select Google Apps, and I'm gonna look for sites. That's SITES. Right, go here, sites. Okay, sites right here. So after selecting sites, I am going to select a blank one, but you don't have to select a blank e-portfolio. You could select one of the templates. So I'm going to select this plus sign for blank. All right, it's opening. Okay, it's gonna come up like this. I hope that you are seeing my page, because for some reason, just one moment, zoom, it says I am sharing. I hope that you're seeing what I want you to see. All right, so yes, I am in sites, and this is my page. So first thing that you're gonna do, you're gonna start setting up your page, and then you're gonna start adding those pages for the different principles. So I'm going to write my name. It says your page title. You could write e-portfolio, or you could write your name. So right here where it says enter site name, or you could add a logo. I'm gonna write e-portfolio. Right, and right here, I am going to write my name. Okay, right. Now, on my cover page, there are some things that you need to know. If you look to the right-hand corner, you will see insert, you will see pages, you will see themes. For insert, it's an insert now. Here is the blue line under. You have text box, you have images, you have embed, and you have drive. Content blocks, these are different layouts of how you possibly want your page to look. So you can just manipulate and do whatever you wish to personalize your e-portfolio. So for text box, if you want to write something, you would select text box, and here it is. All right, and if you notice, you'll have normal style, so you can change the heading style or the title here. You can change the font to whatever you want. Here you can make it bigger. You can adjust your font size. You have bold, italics, underline, and so on. Line spaces and so on. This is the remove or delete button. If you look, all right, text box. You have duplicate. So if you write something, you could duplicate it. Selection colors, so you can change the color right here, and this is your delete section button. All right, so going back to your right hand corner, so we just looked at text box. You have images. So if you want to upload a photograph, a picture, so you would select images. Now when you select, you will see upload and you would see select. For upload, if you're taking it, if it's stored on your device, because when you select upload, there is what is stored on your drive. So I'm gonna hit cancel. Or if you select the select button, it will take you to the Google Drive, right? From there, you will have to select recent or my drive or shared with me, or if you're searching for it on Google, or if your photos are stored on your device in your Google Photos, you would select photos. All right, I'm gonna go back. Here you have embed and you have your Google Drive right here. So you select based on where your information is stored, right? Then here you have pages. Here you have the plus sign. I'll be going there a little bit later. And then you have themes. So the theme would be your background. So here the color of my background is a little dark. So I could select this color or this one or this one. All right, so you will select based on how you want your portfolio to look. All right, so I'm gonna go back here now. I could change my image, select change image, and I could upload a photograph. Now I'm gonna go back because I don't have anything stored on this device. I'm going to hit select image and I'm gonna go to my, not my gallery, my Google Drive. And I'm going to select recent. And I'm gonna select from there. I already have the photograph saved, so I'm going to select. Now to get the photograph, and here, touch that photo, select, yes. And then I hit the select button, and here it is. It's adjusting. All right, I'm gonna hit the anchor button and I'm going to select this one to just adjust the photograph. I'm also gonna hit the stars. It says remove readability adjustment to get the photograph a little brighter, right? Let's see. So this would be my cover page, right? I want another photograph. So I would double tap on my screen here, a circle will come up. Here you have text. So instead of going to insert for these options, you can double tap on the screen and you will see this circle with the same options. So you have images, you have upload from your cloud, you have text, you have from the drive, or you have embed. So all the options are here. So I'm going to select images right here. And I'm gonna go from recent, my drive, and I'm gonna use the same photograph. Select, and I'm gonna press insert, and there it is. If I want to write, I would go back to insert, and I would select text for the text box. So this is for September, PATEMBER, September 2022 to September, or I should say July or August. AUGUST, August, let's say August 2023, next year. All right. So there, that is how you type on the screen. Okay. Now we're gonna go to pages. How do we add the pages? And what should be on these pages. So I'm going to select pages, and I'm going to press the plus sign, plus, just to add a new page, and I'm going to put table of content. Table content. Right, done. So that's my first page. So here I would list all the different headings in my table of content. Right. Next, I'm gonna add a new page. So pages, I'm gonna select that plus sign, new page. Oh, I should have showed you, you have link. You can add a link. You could full the page embed, or you could, it is new menu selection. So I'm gonna add another page, and I'm gonna write my guiding principles. For time, I'm just gonna write GP number 1 to 5. So GP number 1, done. Next, GP number 2. Next, GP number 3. GP number 4. GP number 5, and there are 6 GPs. There are 6 guiding principles. GP number 6, done. All right, I'm gonna go back as I write the names of each GP. All right, so I'm gonna go back to home, right? So this is my first page. Then I'm gonna go back to table of content. Here, I'm going to change my background image. So I'm going to select reset, right? So reset, and it's back to the original color that, well, the original background. All right, so for table of content, I would insert. So I double tap on the screen, select text box, and then I would write the page and page number. The page number, right? And then I would have here, I could start adding my introduction, my resume, and so on, because you'll have to add those there. But for time, I am just going to write the GPs, right? So GP1, so that would be my page 1, GP2, GP3, GP4, GP5, and GP6. All right, so 6 GPs, table of content. All right, and then I would put in my page numbers a little bit later. And here, if you notice, let me just change this. You could have this bold or italic, underlined, and so on. So let me just make this bold and underline. This one as well. I'm gonna make this bold and underlined. Right, basically that's it. A little bit later, as I said, while you're going through, you could put in your introduction and all the other requirements. All right, so for guiding principle number 1, I'm gonna go back to pages and I'm gonna hit guiding principle number 1. Let me just reset the background of this as well. And for guiding principle number 1, hold on, go back to the task. Here it is. Looking at our appraisal instrument, it says beginning teacher performance appraisal, right? Okay. All right, so guiding principle number 1, it says teacher knows the subjects that he or she teaches. Item 1, demonstrated knowledge of subject content. one moment. Let me just ensure that you are seeing my screen. All right, yes, you are seeing the correct screen. Okay. All right. So it says sources of evidence. It says certification, samples of subject goals or course outline and action plans for class teaching, mentors report, peer assessment, lesson plans, student support, and any other relevant assessment records. So for the guiding principle number 1, it would take in all your lesson plans, as it was mentioned, your certificates, all the certificates that you've collected over a period of time, including your degree, etc. Pictures or any other screenshots or evidence. This is where you would put your lesson plans, your action plans, and so on. All right. How do you add those, your lesson plans, action plans, and so on? Basically, just as I've mentioned, you would go to insert, or you could double tap on the screen and you would go to your, well, depending on where you have the information stored. If the information is stored on the device, then you would have to select insert and you would have to upload it. If it is stored on your drive, the Google Drive, then you would just select drive and you would search for the information there. So because I'm just doing it now, I would select recent and I would look for, let's say, my lesson plan, because I would have just sent it there. So if the information is stored on your phone, for example, it's a photograph, you would just select that photo, select share, and look for Google Drive and ensure that it is shared to the MOE account, email account, or the account that you're using, right? Or you could email it to yourself and then share it to your Google Drive. Or that's the assessment plan. Okay. Action plan. All right, assessment, evaluation, assessment, action. All right, so here is one, lesson plan. So it was in my drive, so I'm going to select insert. And there, my lesson plan is uploaded. So let's go back. What did I just do? I selected drive. I'm going to insert my action plan now. I selected recent because, as I said, I had uploaded it to my Google Drive already. So I'm in my Google Drive now and I'm going to look for my action plan. So action plan or the assessment, whichever one comes up first. All right, so here is my action plan. I'm going to select it. Oh, you can select more than one. So action plan, let's just do the assessment plans as well. My term 1, term 2, and my term action plan, term 1, term 2, and I think this should be term 3. Term 3 assessment plan. I'm going to select insert, and all 4 documents were uploaded. All right, so action. So there we go. That's my guiding principle number 1. Oh, let me just write what it says. It says teacher knows the subject. Teacher knows the subject that he, she teaches. Right. Let me see what's the rest of it. Teacher knows that he or she teaches. All right, that's it. So that's my guiding principle number 1. All right, so that should be guiding principle number 1. As I said, your certificate should be there as well. So my degree, I would go back, images. Was it an image? I took a photograph of it. So images, and I'm gonna go to select because it's on my Google Drive as well. And I'm gonna go to recent, yes, and I'm looking for my degree. So all the documents that you have stored on your Google Drive, you're gonna search for it there if you have it in the Google Drive. If not, you're gonna have to select upload and look for it if you have it stored on your device. Right, where is it? All right. Don't think I'm finding it now. Possibly gonna have to upload it later. Or I'm gonna have to show you something else in the meantime. Okay. All right, so I'm not finding that now. Right. So I'm going to do that a little bit later. But basically, you would follow the same steps to have it uploaded. All right, so I'm gonna go to guiding principles number 2. Here it is. All right, this is GP1. All right, this is GP2, guiding principle 2. And guiding principle 2, it says, you just go back and double check. Guiding principle number 1. Here it says for 7 marks, maximum credit obtained required induction certification in a teacher's college or a college offering teacher education. So you have to ensure that your degree is there and all your other qualifications. You have to ensure that they are uploaded in guiding principle number 1. All right, for guiding principle number 2, here it says teacher knows how to teach the subjects for which he or she is responsible. All right, so let me just go back over. I'm at the wrong. Okay, this is it. So GP number 2, let me just reset this. Let me just rename GP2, teacher knows how to teach. Right. Teacher knows how to teach the subject for which she is responsible. Responsible. Okay, and then it says demonstrate the following evidence through knowledge and application of pedagogy. All right, and it says sources of evidence, classroom observation, mentorship or principal's report, students' assessment, copies of assessment plans, diagnostic implemented to establish and meet students' performance targets, records of students' assessments to advocate students' learning, classroom observation. So for guiding principle number 2, you could also upload a copy of your timetable, pictures of seminars that you have attended, certificate of participation, and so on. All right. So for this part, for guiding principles 1, 2, and 3, the lesson plans must be there because it says students' assessment and copies of assessment plans. The assessment plans should be in Guiding Principle 2 as well. So that's GP2. Let me just go back to the e-portfolio. So you have to have those there as well. And I've showed you before, all you would do, you could double tap on the screen right here and select, I'm gonna select from Drive. I'm gonna select Recent. And I'm gonna look for, it says copies of lesson plan and assessment plan and so on. I'm just going to put, let's put the assessment plans there. As I said, you can insert more than one document at a time. So that's 1, 2, 3, my action plan, my lesson plan, right? And you could also put samples of students' work there, all right? So I have samples of students' work, but I'm not going to insert them at this time. So I'm gonna select insert, and there you go. The documents are there, all right? For guiding principle number 3, the time is going. And as you notice, you get, it's 3 marks for each of the different categories, right? And the maximum score there is 23 points. All right, for guiding principle number 3, teacher knows his or her students effectively managing diversity to promote inclusive classes. And it says item 3, demonstrated capabilities of managing the learning process with students having diverse learning needs and exceptionalities. And it says sources of evidence, you have incentive program or reward system, samples of critical incident reports, your logbook, your register, memorandums, meeting minutes, and any document or record that indicates an incident. Your lesson plans should be here, work plans, students' assessment records, behavior management observation, and so on. So for guiding principle number 3, let me just go back to the e-portfolio. Guiding principle number 3. Okay. There it is. I'm going to reset this as well. And then you would do the same for this part. So I'm going to select insert. And I'm going to go back to my drive. And if you wish to write something, you would just select text box. All right, I'm going to select recent. Let me see if I can remember some of the things that it asked for. Oh, and remember I said guiding principles 1, 2, and 3, the lesson plans, the assessment plans, the action plans, they are important. All right, task 4, here, yes. And it says your register, so you could take a picture of a register and so on. So let me just go back here. All right, so I'm gonna add some of the things that I have on mine. So here are copies of students' work. I'm just gonna, all right, these are mark books. Yes, this is the mark book. I don't think I have the register there. I have incentives. So I've given stars to students, high 5, yes. And for behavior modification, here's another thing. I have rules. These are my rule charts and so on. Yes, there are some other things that I didn't take the picture of. So I'm just gonna add them right here. So guiding principle number 3, there they are. And that's that. All right, I'm gonna move on because I don't want the time to be out and this recording is not finished. All right, so I'm gonna go over to guiding principle number 4. For guiding principle number 4, it says Teacher sharpens his or her professional skills. And it says item 4, demonstrated continuous professional development. And it says sources of evidence, mentor's report, peer assessment, student report, and any other relevant assessment records, professional development sessions attended, courses taken, including the duration. So let's say this course was for 20 hours, then you write the duration. Research done, certificates and documents, record of active membership of a community of learners or QEC participation, professional bodies in or outside of school, notes, presentation modes, or responded to portfolio. All right, so these are the things that should be included in guiding principle number 4. So back to the e-portfolio, right? And I'm gonna go to GP4. Right. And let me just reset this picture as well. And I would upload the things that I want here as well. So depending on where they are stored, I would upload them. So let me see if I can remember some of the things that are there. So the JTA is a professional body, so you can take a picture of your JTA card and upload it there. Students assessment record, peer assessment, any, as it said, let me go back. It did say if you've attended any, where is it again? Professional development sessions. So any professional development sessions that you've attended, if you have letters or pictures or anything, then you would just upload it there. It says graduation as well. So photos and so on, you could upload it there. So let me just go back to the e-portfolio. And I think I should have some photos. So I would select insert once more. And let's go to my drive. I'm going to select recent. And so those are some students' work. These are some of the things that we participated in, right? Jamaica Day and so on. Students' work. Right. Oh, here is one. So I was in this session. I have photographs of some of the sessions. I made a presentation here. Okay, I'll just put this one here. And you can make a note. Right, right, here's my letter. So I'm not, okay. All right, so let me just insert some of the things that I've found so far. I'm not able to put in everything at this time, but I attended a workshop. Here it is. I did not receive a certificate, but because I was in attendance, I did a screenshot for this part. For this one, I just switched the pictures. I did a presentation. And if I want to write a little note, I would just select option and add caption, or I could add text. So for this one, doing presentation, right? And this one, no, they were giving me a thank you. Yes, one of my colleagues was saying thank you, trying to remember. All right, for this one, this is a copy of the license. And for this one, this was a letter from JTC saying thank you. All right. open a new window. All right, so this one was saying thank you for, here it is, my contribution for one of the professional seminars. All right, so let me just go back. Okay, and I'm gonna move on to guiding principle number 5. For guiding principle number 5, let's see, let me just go back to the task. It says, teacher interacts with parents and community. And then it says, engagement of parents and community members to advocate students' outcomes. And it says sources of evidence, signed documents acknowledging and verifying receipt of documents sent home by teacher, invitations to meetings, function, community project work, and so on. Just happening. Right? So let me just go back to the e-portfolio. Guiding principle number 5. We're almost there. All right. So for guiding principle number 5, it says community. All right. So all right. So it says if you have participated, all right, PTA meeting would come here. If you've participated in sports day and so on, anything that, any signed document that you have verifying that yes, you participated in anything, you would put it here as well. Right, so that's my GP number 5. So you could have maybe a picture of you participating and place it there. Hold on. I am gonna go back to my other e-portfolio because I don't remember exactly what I have here. So let me see if I can open my other portfolio. Okay, here it is, and let me see what I have for guiding principle number 5. All right, for guiding principle number 5 pages. So it's one which was done before. Right, 5. All right, so I have pictures of some presentations, pictures of sports day. I have text from parents, responses from parents, messages which were sent to parents, instructions on how to come to assist students on completing tasks and so on. So that's for GP. That's what I have for guiding principle number 5. All right. So if parents pop in and so on, whatever parents, or you could invite parents in, let's say you have literacy day, you could invite parents in to come in and share or whatever. Okay. Let me see if I can add something here. From Drive. So I'm going to put in my Jamaica Day contribution recent. Okay. So Jamaica Day, my students and I, we did a dance. So let me just put that in. There were some other things that we participated in, but okay. Now let me see this one. Insert. All right. And for GP number 6, you just go back. Guiding principle number 6. Number 6. Number 5. Number 6, it says, teacher conducts himself or herself in a manner that uplifts the profession. Copy. And it says, item 6 demonstrated high levels of professional conduct. And it says source of evidence, mentor's report, peer assessment, guidance counselors, students report, and any other relevant record, a reference letter from the principal, the vice principal, or head of department, teacher's personal profile, logbook, and so on. So that's guiding principle number 6. It's my e-portfolio, guiding principle number 6. So what do I? So for my guiding principle number 6, okay, so what I have, I've inserted a picture of my teacher registration number, my teacher registration receipt, a picture of myself doing a presentation to my colleagues, and a letter from JTC saying thank you for participating. So that's what I have. That's what I have for guiding principle number 6. But for guiding principle number 6, if you have other information, you could place it there as well. So that's the e-portfolio. For my e-portfolio, which I did at school, let me just go back a bit. Portfolio. All right, I'm going back to pages. Right. I have done it in sections A and sections B. For section A, I have my table of content, my letter of introduction, which you could do as well. Let me just open it. So section A is just a picture of myself. I have my table of content. Now my table of content, what I did, okay, here it is. I did a hyperlink so that you can find the pages easily. So if you go to table of content, you can just hit the hyperlink, select hyperlink, and it will take you directly to that page. So I have my table of content. I'm going to show you how to do that. I have my letter of introduction. So it's just something about me, about myself. I have my resume, a copy of my resume. I have proof of qualifications. Those are my certificates and so on. Here it is. Some of the professional development seminars that I have attended, but I've not received certificates. I took pictures and I have uploaded. Right, this is my degree. I couldn't find it, but here it is. Other things that I've done, here are my other certificates. And as I said, certificates from way back when. All right, and then section B. This is my section B. All right, so it takes in my philosophy of education and my teaching experience and responsibilities. So I just did something short, picture of my school, the mission statement, and some of the things that I've participated in, so on. All right, and then I went on to my guiding principles. So guiding principle 1, guiding principle 1, as I said, takes in the lesson plan, your assessment plan, your action plans, sample of students' work, and so on. All right, guiding principle 2. I have my lesson plans that are evaluated and so on. Guiding principle 3. This was online class because we started online. These were some of the activities that we did while we went back face to face, right? Okay. Guiding principle 4. All right, so here, guiding principle 5. And these were some conversation between myself and some parents. And the guiding principle number 6. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the one that we are creating now, and I'm gonna try to remember how to hyperlink. So guiding principle 1, I'm gonna highlight it. Guiding principle number 1. I'm going to highlight. I'm trying to remember how, and I'm going to insert link. Yes, here it is. And then I'm going to put guiding principle number 1 and apply. So here it's hyperlink to guiding principle number 1. Then I'm going to highlight, just go down. I'm going to highlight guiding principle number 2. Highlight it. And then I'm going to select insert link, and I'm going to select number 2. And then I'm going to apply. And here it is hyperlinked to guiding principle number 2. I'm going to do the same for guiding principle number 3. I'm going to highlight it. So it will be easier for you to find those pages when you're going through. So if you go to table of content, apply, and you select any of these, it will take you directly to the page. So guiding principle number 4, highlight it, select link, and this is number 4. Number 4, apply. Good. Right, going down to number 5. And as I said, it is your portfolio, so you have to make it as creative as you can. Guiding principle number 5. Insert number 5. Okay. Where is it? All right, so I'm gonna have to do that one over. Number 5, insert. Number 5, apply, and number 6, touch. Number 6, apply. And that's it. So I want to find page 6, but I am on pages. I would just select, let me just go back. So I'm on home. And I want to find page 6. I would just click table of content, and then I would select GP number 6. And there I am at GP number 6. Pages. Right. So let me go back home. I should have showed you how you could use Canva to make your home screen a little bit more attractive. However, because we don't have much time, I don't want to be kicked off. Let me see. All right, let me see if I can go over to Canva, canva.com, or I will show you that one in another video. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this will help you in working on your portfolios. And while you are working on your portfolios, let me just go back to this part on the wrong one. While you are working on your portfolios, your e-portfolios, you need to bear in mind the different areas and the scores that are allotted to each. So you need to pay attention to these. So at the end of it, if you're an exemplary teacher, you will be getting 90 to 100%. Areas of strength, 71 to 89%. Areas of weakness, if you're scoring between 60 to 70%, and unsatisfactory practices under 60%. So while you're doing what you're doing, you need to bear in mind. So for guiding principle number 1, it's out of 23. Guiding principles number 2 is out of 23. Guiding principle number 4, it's out of 23. That's number 3. Guiding principle 4 out of 14 credits. Number 5 out of 9. And number 6, it's out of 8. Total 100%. That's for the new teacher. At the end of it, you will have to add up all of them, all your scores. Here it is. And based on how much you got out of the 23, you'd write it. And your final score will determine your areas that you are exemplary in, areas of strength, areas for improvement, and unsatisfactory. At the end of it, you would sign off. And that's it. So thank you for watching and all the best.